Coming up on Sports Paws, Acrobatics and Tumbling took on Augustana in their second meet of the season, happening right now.
And women's ice hockey took on Colgate in the ECAC semifinals.
Plus, women's basketball celebrates seniors on Senior Day as they welcome Fairfield to Hamden.
All this and more on Sports Paws starting right now. Happy Monday night and welcome back to Sports Paws. I'm James Bueno.
And I'm Ben Kane. From an NCAA selection show to MAC Awards. It's been a very busy few weeks on campus. And we start tonight's show in a similar way to a few weeks prior. Last week we started off the show with news of a record-breaking coach, and this edition of Sports Paws is no different. Paula Miller has just won her 100th matchup as the head coach of the women's tennis team. Now in her 10th season in Hamden, the professor of the courts has taken her team to the NCAA tournament 6 times, winning the MAC title 6 times as well all along the way. Off the courts, Miller also acts as the director of tennis on campus and teaches pickleball classes. Now shifting courts, but inside to Lender Court, where the Acrobatics and Tumbling team competed in their second meet of the season. The Bobcats defeated Augustana University by a point margin of just over 17. The event was trademarked by an incredible move from Mia Rose King in the acro event, which saw her hoisted in the air and contorting her body in an O-like shape. Other notable performances came from Farrah Chernoff in the tumble event. With a starting value of 10 in the aerial pass, Chernoff received a 9.825, which is a little less than half a point higher than she received in her last performance against Kutztown University. The Bobcats will now take their 2-0 record to South Carolina on Saturday, as they look to stay undefeated by defeating Presbyterian College.
Women's ice hockey had their tilt with Colgate in the ECAC semifinals. Let's see how they fared. For a third straight year, Quinnipiac Bobcats faced the Colgate Raiders in the ECAC semifinals. Quinnipiac moved to advance to the finals for the first time since 2016. Let's start late in the first period here in Ingalls Rink in New Haven, as the Raiders are going to come out firing. The Raiders shot off the near wall, and Katie Chen lofted the puck past Logan Andrews. Colgate leads 1-0. Jumping into the second period, 11 seconds in, Koltanakova sends a pass, as we're going to see coming up here. The star, Koltanakova, sends a pass to Caitlin O'Donohoe, who outdeeks Andrews and carries into the boards. The Raiders go up 2-0 with a little celly in the corner. Then Nina Brick receives a pass from the slot and scores. Colgate leads 3-0 and headed into the last minute after this little celly here. Daria Grieg cuts to the crease and beats Andrews top shelf. The Raiders extend the lead to 4 and headed into the third period. The Bobcats trying to mount the comeback, skating 6-on-4. Kendall Cooper wires a shot and Alexei Hoskin battles the rebound home for 5-1. However, the nail in the coffin for the Bobcats tournament run came from Colgate captain Danielle Serdachny, the ECAC Player of the Year. She skates to the empty net to seal the deal. The third time is not the charm. The Bobcats are eliminated by the Raiders by final score of 5-1. After the game, we caught up with women's ice hockey beat reporter Andrew Reynolds on the impact of this tournament.
Following a loss to Colgate Friday night, the Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team have officially been eliminated from ECAC tournament play.
I thought our team showed a lot of heart and a lot of fight today. We didn't start the game the way we needed to. I thought that we kept fighting throughout the game. There was no quit in our game, and I think that's important. We've battled a lot of adversity at different times this year, and we hope that we can learn a lesson from this game.
Colgate lost both games to the Bobcats this season. For them, it was a revenge game.
It's awesome. I think I can speak for both of us in saying that. We're so pumped for tomorrow. Really excited to get the win today.
With a date versus Clarkson in the finals, both Hannah and Katie are excited to get back to the brewing rivalry between these two foes.
I think we were all pumped. Definitely want to get a game against Clarkson. It's always kind of a little heated rivalry for us. We had 2 tough games in the regular season, so everyone's excited for tomorrow.
For Cass Turner's Bobcats, it's all about starting the game strong instead of in the later periods.
I think from today, we need to learn the lesson. We got to start with confidence. We've started to really play with confidence after the first period, but we've got to be ready to play the way we did in the second and the third at the start of the game.
The Bobcats will find out where their season lies on Sunday night, as that is the day of the NCAA selection show. Reporting from Ingalls Arena in New Haven, I'm Andrew Reynolds, Q30 Sports.
As the season ends, the ECAC All-League teams have been revealed. Forward Olivia Mobley and defender Kendall Cooper have both earned second-team All-ECAC honors for their performances this season. Mobley finished with 15 goals and 25 assists for a team-leading 40 points as a part of a killer line with Shea Maloney and Madison Chandler. And Cooper led all defenders on the team with 5 goals and 15 assists for 20 points on the season. The two look to stay hot in the Bobcats' NCAA tournament run.
Now with the ECAC season over, the Bobcats shift their focus to the NCAA tournament, where they are set to play number 10 Penn State this Friday to kick off the Columbus Regional Finale, with the winner playing the reigning champs number 1 Ohio State for a spot in the Frozen Four. Let's see what Cass Turner has to say about her team's mentality on the road to Columbus.
We're not going to take anything for granted, not that we did necessarily going into that semifinal game. I think we were prepared and we were ready. We just weren't ready to execute at the level we needed to. But I think, coming off a disappointing loss and feeling like we didn't necessarily perform at our best, we're going to be so hungry. We're not going to leave anything to chance. And it would be easy to go into this and just say and assume we're going to get to where we got last year. We weren't going to get to the NCAA tournament this year if we didn't have a strong season like we put into this. And we're not going to get to that game with Ohio State unless we play a strong game against Penn State. So, it's really got to be a one game at a time mindset for our group.
Now, although the ECAC is over for the women, there is still everything to play for on the men's side of things. Quinnipiac begin their hunt for another ECAC title with yet another matchup with their biggest rivals, Yale. The ECAC quarterfinals matchup is a best-of-3 series with the winner punching their bus ticket to Lake Placid. Good news for Bobcats fans, Quinnipiac is undefeated against Yale this season, having won their most recent matchup against the Bulldogs by a scoreline of 4-1. And on top of this, Quinnipiac are unbeaten in the Battle of Whitney Avenue in their last 10 meetings. Also in action this weekend are reigning champions Harvard as they take on Princeton, with Clarkson, Cornell, Colgate, and St. Lawrence the final competitors in this year's tournament. And chasing another ECAC championship is Rand Pecknold, who was also nominated for another award. The Quinnipiac head coach has been named a finalist for the Tim Taylor ECAC Coach of the Year Award. Pecknold is looking to collect the award for the third straight year in a row. In his 29th season in the program, he has tied the program's record for most wins in a season with a record of 28-3-3, while also not losing a single home game all season. Pecknold also joins the list of coaches that include Brent Brecky from St. Lawrence and Ted Donato from Harvard, who are all competing. Any coach will say their success comes from the players' performance on the ice, and Quinnipiac once again had success on the ice with the ECAC monthly awards list. Sam Lipkin starts us off with another ECAC Rookie of the Month award with 10 points in the month of February. Lipkin finished the month on a 4-game point streak. Colin Graff has been named co-forward of the month with his 13th point month and is one of the main contributors on the 4th-ranked offense in the country. Yaniv Peretz rounds out the awards, having won goaltender of the month. The sophomore goaltender leads the nation in goals against and win percentage and sits 5th in save percentage. Peretz is also a semifinalist for the Mike Richter Award for the 2nd straight year.
Women's indoor track and field took on their final meet of the regular season at the ECAC Championships. How did they perform? The Bobcats have a rare finish in 37th in the meet, while most of their top athletes did not participate. However, there was a massive moment as Erin Brennan broke her personal record and the program record in the pole vault that she had previously set on February 18th. The Bobcats will now prepare for the outdoor schedule coming up in a few weeks, kicking off in the Raleigh Relays on March 23rd, hosted by NC State.
And sticking on track with track and field, we are now joined by Gage Kilborn, who has an exclusive interview with graduate middle distance runner Emily Young in our new segment, A Mile in Her Shoes.
All right, welcome to A Mile in Her Shoes, the Emily Young story. I'm Gage Kilborn, and joined alongside me is Emily Young. Now, Emily, how are you doing today, first off?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, that's not too bad. So for starters, You ran cross country at Camillus at West Genesee. Can you talk to us about what made you decide to go for running in the first place?
Yeah, I actually played soccer for most of my life, and then my sophomore year of high school, I decided to try out for track, and I really liked it. My coach kind of talked to me like, you could have a future in this, try cross country, just give it one season. If you don't like it, you can always go back to soccer, and I fell in love with it.
So you've really improved throughout your career here at Quinnipiac and become one of the more elite runners of the program's history. And with that all being said, one of the races that I was watching was the 800-meter race in the MAC finals. When you came with like 100 meters left, you were in third, and you came back and came away with a finish. Can you describe what was going through your mindset with the last 100 meters of the race?
Yeah, that was a fun race. I knew going into it, going into the weekend, I really wanted to win that race. But I had a few races I had to get through first to get there. Once I got there, I just kind of had to go into it knowing like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna hang on as long as possible. And then going into that last lap, I was just thinking about how I didn't want to be in the lead going into the final 100. I'm so much better at chasing people down, and I wanted to come from behind. And when she started to make the move, I knew that I had one opportunity to go for it. And I knew I wanted it, and I think at that point it was just, that was what got me through, was that want of winning.
The one that I completely missed on was the MAC championship victory over Iona in cross country season. And going in, I don't think you guys are picked to win the MAC. I think it was Iona was picked to win the MAC, and I think we're picked to finish second. But how did it feel after all that years of hard work to finally finish as a MAC champion, and not just a MAC champion, but the first MAC champion for the school year for Quinnipiac?
It was pretty cool. I know going into the season, I talked to our coach, and she really wanted it, and we knew we had a good shot at it. We had a few girls that really stepped it up this year and really closed that gap to make us a really solid team. And our coach always says, seeds are for birds. Like, if we went off of the seeds, then we wouldn't run the championship. And going in, we knew that we were kind of the underdogs, but we knew that we should win that title, and it belonged to us. And everyone did exactly what they needed to do. And it was 5 years in the making for me, so it was so cool.
We'd like to take this time to say thank you to Emily Young for giving us her inside scoop of her career here at Quinnipiac. And for you guys back at home, if you want to check out more of the women's cross country track and field team, go onto their Twitter at QU_TFXC. Gage Kilborn, Q30 Sports.
Thanks, Gage. And with that, it looks like we've run out of time before our first commercial break of the evening.
But don't go anywhere just yet, as when we come back, there's everything in basketball from this weekend. Be back in 2.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on man, let's split a ride home.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time,
which can be really dangerous.
It's here. It's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why? My. Oh.
Well, with the media timeout now officially over, let's jump right back in as the Bobcats took on the Stags for Senior Day on London Court. The Bobcats are looking to close out their season with a win against the Stags. And not only that, it was a big day for the seniors, 6 of them being nominated in their final home game of the season before they head down to Atlantic City. We're going to start off in the first quarter. Let me tell you, it's a game of runs here. See, Mary Baskerville gets the ball, trying to pass out to Rose Caverly, but it's stolen by Mimi Rubino. One-on-one, Ella O'Donnell can't get the block, and Rubino gives the Stags an 8.2 lead. Now Grisdale knocks down a 3, and here come the Bobcats. They're starting to storm back into this game. Another pass, Rose Caverly drives in, kicks it out to Haywood, knocks down a wide open 3, and the Bobcats take a lead heading into the second quarter. Then Mackenzie Helms drives in, shot bounces off the rim, Baskerville gets the rebound, that one doesn't go in, then Haywood gets the second offensive rebound, knocks it in, Bobcats continue their lead heading into the third quarter. Now Mackenzie Helms once again, Haywood up and under to Mary Baskerville. Great play in the paint there from her. Helms once again, bounce pass. Then a little stutter from Mackenzie DeWeese. The Mackenzie connection prevails. We head into the fourth quarter. Bobcats still up big in this game. You see a little bit of action from Fairfield. Nice jumper from the top of the key there. But still, it's all Bobcats. Baskerville, beautiful pass out to Mackenzie DeWeese. Jab step, creates some space, knocks down the 3. Quick shot here for the turnaround 3 for the Stags, but that's not good enough. Fairfield going to lose this game 39-52. And after the final buzzer of the regular season, let's see who the Bobcats will be facing off with in Atlantic City. After their monstrous win against Fairfield this past Saturday, Quinnipiac were seeded 3rd heading into the tournament and will get a first round bye. The Bobcats will take on either St. Peter's or Manhattan. While the Peacocks come into the tournament, the worst seeded team in the MAC, the Bobcats will have a favorable matchup in whatever outcome falls in their lap. With an overall record of 4-0 against the Jaspers and Peacocks this season, Quinnipiac will be the heavy favorites to play in the semifinals against the winner of Niagara and either Marist or Ryder. Iona remain the favorites heading into Atlantic City after finishing the regular season as the 1 seed. And while the Bobcats are still in the hunt for silverware, some of their players have already taken home the gold. 3 Bobcats have earned end-of-season honors, and we're going to start off with Curtiera Haywood, who was named to the All-MAC 3rd team. Haywood had a breakout campaign in Hampton, averaging a career-high 10.3 points and 5.8 assists. Michaela Morris also joins the mix, making All-MAC 2nd team. Morris's 10.8 points and 6.8 rebounds make her the first program in, wait for it, program history to earn all-conference honors in 4 different seasons. Rounding out the list is Ella O'Donnell, who makes the all-rookie team after an impressive start to the season. O'Donnell tallied an impressive 5-game total where she contributed double-digit points.
Now the men's basketball team had their second chapter against local rival Fairfield. Let's see what happened. Quinnipiac men's basketball taking on the Fairfield Stags on senior night in Fairfield, Connecticut at the brand new Leo D. Mahoney Arena. Let's get started in the first half. Desi Jones gets the Bobcats started with a pull-up 3. Both teams starting very hot on offense. Supreme Cook is cooking down low and bangs with Polo Tieno and finishes the layup home off the glass. Cook at a career-high 28 points. JJ Riggins finds a cutting Matt Blanc on the baseline who gets the floater to go in a back-and-forth first half. Desi Jones accelerates to the basket around Caleb Fields and gets the layup to go with the foul. Nice play. Tyrese Williams with a smooth baseline drive to score the reverse layup, as you can see here. Williams tied a season high with 18 points in the game. Nearing the end of the first half, it's Caleb Fields who takes it coast to coast, finishing with a smooth Euro step to give the Stags 2 as the Stags lead 38-33, heading into the second half. Caleb Fields going up for the layup, but he can't get it to go. But Supreme Cook is down there to throw it down. Fairfield's pulling away late. Desi Jones drills the 3, but it's too little, too late for the Bobcats as the Stags win by a final score of 92-82. Following the loss at Mahoney Arena, we hear from Dylan Summer on what this game means for the MAC tournament.
Last month, Quinnipiac packed the bank for their matchup against the Fairfield Stags, and they came out victorious. Tonight, it was Fairfield that got the upper hand as they defeated the Bobcats 92-82. Now the question is, which team is going to have the upper hand in Atlantic City?
Last time we played these guys, did a really good job of containing their perimeter players while dealing mostly with Gene Rose and Cook as much one-on-one as we could. But that worked really well. Obviously, good teams, good coaches are going to come back with some adjustments, and they certainly did. And, Cook was a huge part of that.
Supreme Cook would end up getting 26 points on the night. He credits that to the work that he put in.
My mindset was I just have to outplay them, I have to outwork them. I just have to do everything that I can better than them. They have 3 good bigs, they're all pretty good. So I just had to adjust guarding them and just try to outwork them.
After clinching the 7th seed in the MAC tournament, head coach Jay Young thinks it's time for teams to put them on their radar.
Defense got to, kind of carry us, but if we're making shots, we're going to be a dangerous team. We can play with anybody in this league. We have, and strange things happen in March. I've been a part of a lot of them, and I tell these guys, 2 years ago nobody gave us a chance. We got to the finals and we lost by 9, and we can get right back there. We're going to have to. A lot of things go into that, obviously, and there's some great teams and great coaches, but I'm going to get on that bus on Monday, and we're going to pack for Saturday. I can tell you that much.
Even with the latest loss against the Stags, Baker Dunleavy still believes his team is right for the MAC tournament.
Well, we've shown that we can do it. I mean, we're a team that's won 6 games in a row this year. We were a team that I think we won 7 games in a row this year, and we've lost 3 or 4 in a row here or there too. So we have been streaky. We got to be streaky at the right time and the right way. But I think we've shown. I think we're top 4 in the league on both offense and defense, and that was our goal coming into the year, is to be balanced on both sides of the ball.
The Bobcats still have one more regular season game left against the Marist Red Foxes before their trip to Atlantic City. Reporting from the Mahoney Arena, Dylan Summer, Q30 Sports.
Following that loss, the Bobcats took on Marist in Poughkeepsie in the final regular season game. The Bobcats were able to bounce back from the loss against Fairfield with an 88-76 win against the Marist Red Foxes. Desi Jones and Matt Ballon co-led the team with 21 points each, and Jones also led the team in rebounds and assists with 7 and 6 respectively. Baker Dunleavy's squad now looks toward the MAC tournament in Atlantic City just around the corner, as the bracket has been set at the end of this basketball season. The All-MAC teams have just been revealed. Which Bobcats made it on? Junior guard Desi Jones has received second-team honors after a breakout season in Hamden, leading the team in points per game. Jones averaged 12.4 points and also chipped in with 3.8 rebounds and assists per game. This is the first All-MAC honors the Hannibal native has received after he transferred to Quinnipiac following a 1-year stint with Moberly Area Community College. Jones' season was highlighted by a career-high 28-point performance against Ryder in mid-February. This is March, and you all know what that means. The MAC tournament is here, and this could determine the next Cinderella story. Atlantic City is a tough place to survive, especially with top 4 seeds, Iona, Ryder, Quinnipiac, and Siena. Niagara will also earn a bye and play Siena in the quarterfinals. The first round consists of the Mount playing Canisius, Fairfield playing St. Peter's, and Manhattan against Marist. The Bobcats will have to endure a tough bracket in order to survive and advance past teams like Ryder and Iona into the NCAA tournament, as they hope to recreate what St. Peter's did just last year. We have to take another break, but don't go anywhere as there's plenty of news left.
When we return, we'll see if the lacrosse teams were able to cradle their opponents to victory. We'll be right back.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Drew, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things. but they're all pure love.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. The women's lacrosse team had a thriller on Saturday against Bryant. Let's see how crazy it really was. Quinnipiac Bobcats hosted the Bryant Bulldogs in Hamden on Saturday. Both teams coming into this one with a 2-2 record, looking to jump above 500 starting in the first quarter. Sophie Spencer shoots one right past the Bryant goaltender to give the Bobcats the early lead, 1-0. The Bulldogs would answer though, as Emily Oliver on the breakaway ties it at 1 just in the first quarter. Bryant would continue their momentum as Skylar Simmons, not even a minute later, gives Bryant the lead. Now it's 2-1 Bulldogs. Fast forward to the final seconds of the first quarter. Bulldogs are up 6-2. Skylar Simmons gets her third of the quarter. It's 7-2 Bryant. And into the second we go. The Bulldogs continue the momentum and tack on another one here as it's Chamberlain Bell putting up the Bulldogs up 6. It's 8-2 Bryant. And after 5 unanswered goals, the Bobcats respond as Amy Nikoloff cuts the lead down to 5 with this amazing goal. Jumping to the final minutes of the second quarter, Nikoloff does it again. She scores an incredible diving goal to put the Bobcats back in this game, going into the half down by only 3 goals, 9-6. In the third quarter, the Bobcats, they're rolling, following the early third quarter goals from Bryan and Quinnipiac just as the clock hits 6. Mia Delmon finds the back of the net to cut the Bobcats' deficit to a pair of goals. In the fourth quarter, the Bobcats are hunting. They're looking to complete the 6-goal comeback. And Sophia Iacino puts the Bobcats within just 1. And just over a minute later, Desiree Kleber completes the comeback for the Bobcats. Holy moly! But Bryant responds off the free possession with just over 2 minutes. It's 12-11 Bulldogs. Stay with us. The Bobcats said, I'm not done. More specifically, Amy Nikoloff, who ties it at 12 with 34 seconds left. Can you believe it? This one needed overtime, as Bryant ends up winning the draw control, the possession, and the game as Keena Kaut scores the dagger, and the Bulldogs take this one in overtime with a final of 13-12.
James, you know me pretty well now. It's fairly obvious. I can't spell and I can't count. I just wish there was a fun and creative way I could learn how to count. We'll also see what action happened on campus at Quinnipiac this past weekend.
Well, Ben, I think I have just the solution for you. Let's break down the top 5.
Oh boy, the top 5 plays coming in. We're going to start off with number 5. We're heading to the Lender Court women's basketball. Mackenzie Helves drives in, goes off the rim. Baskerville gets the rebound, off the rim again. Haywood, third time's the charm. That one goes in.
And for play number 4, it's Kendall Cooper taking a shot on net, and Alexa Hoskins able to tickle the twine for the Bobcats' only goal of the game in the 5-1 loss to Colgate.
Here we go. Great goal from women's hockey. Now let's go to men's lacrosse. Dylan Donnery going to get the ball here. Little bounce pass into the back of the net. We're going to have to watch that one more time, kind of slow it down, really analyze this one. Bounces, keeper had no chance. Reflexes not fast enough in that game.
Now let's go to men's basketball against Fairfield. A little give and go action here. Matt Belanc with a beautiful finish there in the 92-82 loss to Fairfield.
Play number 1, women's lacrosse this time. Amy Nikoloff sends this one into the top shelf where Grandma hides the cookies. That one goes to overtime.
Now that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Q30 Television and on Twitter as well at Q30 Sports.
For everyone working so hard behind the scenes and all our amazing producers, for Ben Kane, I'm James Bueno saying see you in 2 weeks.